There is a thin line between needing a man and being needy. Get this wrong and you will do more damage to the relationship than good. The hero instinct, damsel in distress secret. In this video, we're going to be looking at the hero instinct and why men find women who ask for help irresistible. There's something about a helpless girl that men can't resist. But why is that and how can you use this? Find out why men love damsel in distress. Interesting, most women usually hate damsel in distress. Men on the other hand can't help falling in damsel in distress. For men it's just inevitable. Every time a man sees a pretty lass who needs help, a slob a man turns into a mischievous knight in shining armor. Well, at least until he's made enough of an impression to make her fall for him. While much of courting games of dating and falling in love depends on the mutual attraction, there's another secret force that most men and women don't think about: the evaluation of desirability. Do you desire a guy or does he desire you? How badly do you want to go out with this person? Answering these questions yourself will help you to understand and evaluate someone you meet as a potential date. Let's look into the history of a damsel in distress. Throughout history, the idea of a damsel in distress is a narrative that says that man or men should rescue a woman who is in trouble, perhaps even kidnapped. This leads to a concept of a knight in shining armor which sweeps the woman off her feet. The themes of these stories through the years are always ones that kinship, love, or lust. They are things that give a man or motivation and compulsion to become a hero of the narrative. The woman may even be competent, but she still finds herself in a stressful, dangerous situation in which she must be rescued by a man. Thus, there is sense of helplessness in these women. This leads to the sense that a man needs to take care of a woman because she can't do it herself. Throughout the evolution of the damsel in distress stories in history, the attacker of the woman have many different faces. For example, they may be described as monsters and scientists, Nazis, aliens, robots, or any other vicious man. At the end of all these stories, the man gets the woman as a reward. So the woman is in essence a type of trophy for her and a hero or a savior. What about the damsel in distress stories in the modern world? If you're looking for how the damsel in distress narrative has been pushed to us in the modern world, look at the Disney movies, romantic comedies, and millions of fantasy books catering to women. Just take the classics, Cinderella and Snow White. Both of them are in need of rescuing and the handsome princess comes out to make them. So many people around the world have grown with these stories and it's instilled ideal of both girls and boys when they are young. You also can look at a lot of romantic comedy movies as well. The classic movies, Pretty Woman as a prime example. Julia Roberts plays a prostitute and is hired by Richard Gere, and who is playing a billionaire. He hires her for companionship for a week and ends up falling in love with her. In the last scene, he arrives in a white stretch limo to save her from her life as a prostitute. This is an analogous to the White Horse of Disney movies, and he pulls down her fire escape and climbs up to save her, much like the princess do when they climb up the castle to save the princess. As you can see, a damsel in distress narrative has been something that both males and the females have been exposed to our whole lives. So it's not surprising that men will actually like to become a damsel in distress savior in the modern world. Let's answer the questions. Why do men love damsel in distress? While courting women like to be treated care and respect, men like to be treated like men. When either sex experiences these emotions while spending time with a particular member of the opposite sex, they end up inevitably desiring the person even if it isn't any mutual attraction to begin with. Understanding this little truth and the whole case of the damsel in distress will start to make sense to anyone. Damsel in distress make a man feel like the real man. Throughout evolution, men have always been protectors. Recent decades may have subdued a man and his protective streak, but his urge to be a defender and a protector of all things good still gives him a rush like no other. Let's look into this. Why else do you think men love playing fantasy video games where they play the lead character? It makes us feel good. In the real world, this guy may be nobody, but in the fantasy game, he's inevitably protector and the adventurer and the knight who saves the damsel in distress and beds them in hundreds, and the main character who's desired by every woman. And just like that, in the real world, men like women see women who need help and instinctively feels the urge to help her, not for her sake but for his own, as in that brief moment he feels like a hero. So the damsel are easily approachable. Men approach women almost all the time in the dating field. When a man finds a situation where a woman needs help, he understands two things. One, he instinctively wants to help, and secondly, she's going to be easily approachable and perhaps even grateful for his help. And all men love women who are easily approachable. irresistible. The third thing that a man gets to do, a man's ego swells when he helps a lady. When a man helps a woman and shows off his brute strength to her, he gets thanked for it and he feels good about the whole thing. And when a man feels good about himself, he obviously be drawn to the damsel in distress who helped him and feel better about himself. Men stay longer in a relationship when they feel like men. Most men like to wear pants in a relationship, and even if they don't wear the pants, they want to feel like they do. When their epic egos and innate traits of protect, they want to feel like they are the driving force of the relationship. When a man is in a relationship with a woman who behaves like she needs his protection and help, he's always on guard. He instinctively becomes protective and feels more like a man. Being in a relationship with a woman who wants him and needs him, it's every man's fantasy. He feels like a demigod and puts on his best behavior and everyone wins. But at the same time, there's a thin line between needing a man and being needy. Get this wrong and you could do more damage to the relationship than good. It is biological. Back in the caveman days, men had to go out and hunt animals and drag them back to camp for the family to eat. If they did not do that, then everyone would starve. So they see men like to be a savior. Women are biological wired to caring for the children and other people. They are nurturing and loving. As a cave woman, she relies on the caveman to feed her and her children. Not only that, but she also expected to protect them from danger. Even though we aren't living in the caveman days anymore, our brains and biological have not evolved that far since then. We are still wired for survival, and therefore women still want and expect men to protect them, and men want to protect women. Thus, that's another reason men like damsel in distress. The sixth aspect, a damsel in distress is low maintainer. Men like to be dominant. It's another thing that is biological programming there, and because of that, women tend to be more submissive. This is somewhat a stereotype of these days, but in the history, this was the true almost all the time. When a woman lets a man do what he wants without arguing with him, being submissive, the mankind of him likes it. He doesn't have to answer her. She requires very little from him, and in terms of giving her what she needs and wants. This sounds selfish. That's because it is. Some men like doing whatever they want, wherever they want. And if he was with a dominant woman, she will not allow him to do that. But with a damsel in distress, she will let him to be the man in a relationship and make all the rules, and she will follow them, even if the setup is extremely unfair. How do you become a damsel in distress and not needy? It is easy to be a woman that you are, yet make your man feel like a real man, all without even being taken for granted or stepped over by the man. Just use these tips and you will definitely make him to appreciate you and feel great about himself. Remember that men love an independent woman, but they feel terrible about themselves when their woman doesn't need them at all. You may be perfectly capable of handling everything in your life, but ask for a man for manly helping hand now and then and he'll feel great about it, and 10 inches taller as well. Ask him for help in a man's job. Are you having trouble carrying something heavy? Do you need help fixing the car or perhaps the door hinge? Or are you feeling nervous to walk down the street and after dusk? Ask the man for help. A man likes helping a woman when he feels like he's doing a superior job. Make him assume that there's no way he could have made it through without his help, and his ego will swell. He definitely feel more like a man around you, and yes, he'll desire you just for making him feel that way. The second aspect is to thank him, and don't forget the fleeting smile. When a man absolutely loves helping a woman in need, they are put off by women who can't be grateful for it. If you ask for a guy to help you, but you don't really show your appreciation, he really just avoid helping you or may even ignore you. No one likes being taken for granted, especially men. Always thank a man and compliment him when he helps you. Compliment a man with a fleeting smile and twinkle of your eyes, and will definitely make his heart skip a bit, and he'll be more than happy to help you. The third thing is to show off your independence. If you're dating a guy, don't play the damsel in distress all the time. This is very important. Ask him for some manly help when he's around, but when he isn't with you, don't call him over and ask him to help you out unless you really do need this help. By letting him know that you're completely capable of running your life effortlessly without his help, he'll respect you more. A man always loves an independent woman who doesn't need him but wants it. So where do you draw the line? Ask him for his help and assistance with the manly jobs, but do not only occasionally. He may love a damsel in distress, but he definitely doesn't need an overdose of machismo. If he sees you carrying something heavy without difficulty and immediately jumps up to help you, he'll still be happy with a damsel in distress in you. But if he doesn't budge to help you, he's either a slob and you have been asking him too many favors recently. Asking a man too many favors can disgruntle him. So always remember the thin line. Here's the most important tip of all. Play the damsel in distress and make him feel like a man, he'll love you for it. Play needy and make him feel like you're a slave, and he'll hate you for it. And now that you know why men love damsel in distress, go on and make us some guy's day. You'll get manly help you need, and he'll feel like an alpha, and somewhat along the way he'll start to fall in love with you too. We have looked at the damsel in distress and why men find women who ask for help irresistible. If you're a fan of these types of videos, press the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to this channel, and remember to tap on the bell so that you'll be alerted by YouTube when the next video is out. Finally, if you like this video, click on the like button as it helps on the growth of the channel and the YouTube logarithms. Thank you.